And this is like, let's see if this, yeah, this is me looking at John Carling caught in the past in the 1920s machine. If you can see this going on.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, he can hear me now a little bit somehow.
Okay. I can hear you.
Wow, this is the miracle of television right here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. What's going on? Oh, cool. You know what? I gotta tell you, your Skype looks like this 1920s shit. It's really out of control over here.
That's right. I've got a little fun filter I can touch it through.
You got some kind of filter?
Yeah, like I can do all sorts of weird stuff. Like, you know, let's see. Here's like the Andy Warhol thing. You getting that?
Yeah, but that's just really piss poor bad. So how are you running? You're running it through this your Mac or something?
No, I'm in the PC world.
You're experimenting?
I'm experimenting on you.
Well, there goes your video feed. Here it comes again, I hope.
Yeah, okay.
Go easy with my brain, man. I think I'm high right now or something.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. That's what I just told you. I said go easy with my brain. Ooh, look at those colors.
Yeah. Vibrant.
Vivid. So what's this? Is this your house that we're looking at?
This is my house, yeah.
Let's see that guitar. What's it? Move your body. Move your bad self so I can see it. You don't have to grab it, but oh. What is that?
It's an old box bass.
You son of a bitch.
I got it when I was 15.
I love you.
Black Market Music. Remember that place?
Yeah, of course, man. We made that place happen.
Yeah, that was great. You know, the guitars hanging from the ceiling and stuff?
Yeah, I love that style. You know, they treated me like shit. I used to bring everybody in there.
Yeah, they treat everybody like shit, I think.
Chris was really cool, but Chris and I, the owner, had a falling out when I beat on Jeff Davies and threw him out of the tour back east that time, and left him there in the snow. And right then, also Chris had a bunch of personal problems in his life in L.A. I don't know what the hell happened, but everything went down in flames at the same time. He got some like mental problems along with the substance abuse, like coke and lots of money, disease.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate because I
thought they had a shop in LA or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is the very end.
Oh.
Yes, it was really unfortunate. Are you gonna come back and play? Are you gonna go away?
Do they keep cutting out on me?
Here comes some video or something. There you go. Now you're looking good.
All fucked up for some reason.
Let's blame it on North Korea and leave it at that. But we're gonna trust that our guys are gonna take care of it, right?
Yeah, they're probably taking care of it right now.
Yeah, what do you make of all this mumbo jumbo? Have you heard any of my rants about it when I'm telling people exactly what's going on? They don't want to believe. They don't want to believe me.
I don't know if I've heard any rants about it, but I haven't, to be honest with you, been following the news.
Ooh, yeah, well, they're kind of suppressing a lot of the news. I'll tell you what I know right now. It looks like some money interests like America, maybe the Netherlands, I don't know. They're betting against the euro. So and the reason I know that is because the BBC and all the news they're all talking about the bank run, the international run on the banks. So they're betting against that shit. That's going to benefit the dollar and the pound somehow. So I know that. So when we keep seeing that, or if I repost some story that I see because I think it's funny or whatever, you know that. Then the next thing is this young guy in Lebanon. You know, there was an assassination of this other guy. So the UN or whoever's they're supposed to give a report on who killed him. You know, so it's the Christians against the Hezbollah guys, and the shit's hitting the fan. So the Turkey guy was over there, and the Armenians are all attacking him, and all of a sudden, check this out, the Turkey guy goes, well, regardless of what this thing says, we got to stand together because Israel's going to attack us, and they're the ones doing this. So that's what those guys solved, and the Turkish ambassador, the defense minister, check this out, John, are you ready?
I'm listening.
He goes like this, he goes, if Israel attacks Lebanon or Gaza, Turkey's going to throw down right now. against
Really?
Israel. Yep, absolutely. And so WikiLeaks is going to leak this shit, and they're saying, oh, well, this might hurt Turkey because it says Turkey's been playing with Al Qaeda. Well, the thing is Israel's playing with the Kurds. They have been doing that forever. You know, that's their end to. First, the Kurds, if they ever have their own state, they have all the oil in the middle, and then second of all, it's their end to. Those guys are nomadic. It's their end to Iran and Iraq and Turkey. See, the Kurds are walking around all over the place, so Israel's been buddy with those guys forever. So the next thing is, check this out. Russia says NATO can move all their tanks through, all their supplies through Russia to go to Afghanistan. Which now let's talk about that for a second. Afghanistan, shit, we've been at war for 10 years. We don't even use tanks there. That's not where you use tanks. You know, we don't even walk into the caves that supposedly Bin Laden's into. What do you need a tank for? You can't use a tank in the mountains. So that's all for Iran. That's the back door to stop China. The theater's moved absolutely to Iran. So Turkey obviously said no way to letting Israel and Iran have a war right over their head. So Turkey's going, no way, guys. And Israel can't make the first move, else we're going to attack Israel. So Russia said, NATO, okay, you guys can come through. So this is complete throwdown against China, see? Because now they have, with Russia, with NATO, they have China completely surrounded, and that's why they kicked it off in North Korea for a minute. It's because they're like, oh, we'll start a distraction so America doesn't hit Iran right now through the back side with all the land forces. Because you can't land. You got to hit them from every direction because it's a big army and a big country.
Right.
And they're all at the border of Afghanistan, the Iranians too. So it's got to happen right there. So China's just, So U.S. said to North Korea, U.S. just went like this. All right, check this out. In about 20 minutes, you guys are going to have millions of refugees because we're just going to waste North Korea all at once. So that's going to be your problem, is millions of refugees. Are you guys ready? They literally said that in public on the news. They just said, you guys are going to have loads of refugees in a couple minutes. Because it's obvious, you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the big problem China has with North Korea already. They got a militarized border.
But America wasn't saying just a few guys. America was saying we're just going to scorch the whole place and everybody's going to be running right to China. So that's going to be your problem in a minute. Do you guys really want to do this? They literally said it just like that. Wow. So obviously they're throwing down in Iran. So it's basically what it looks like right now when they talk about us being on the brink of war. It's basically ready. China and Iran, with I guess Syria and Lebanon getting eliminated immediately. So it's China, Iran, and Turkey, and whoever jumps in with on Turkey's side. Do you see what I'm saying? With the Arab thing.
Doesn't Turkey want to ultimately be an EU member? I mean, doesn't that kind of
no? Evidently, Turkey understands. They see the writings on the wall right now. They're like, they don't even want us in Europe, and they'd rather take all those broken countries. You know, Turkey's happening. They don't want us in Europe, and they've been sabotaging us with the Kurds. Turkey's pissed right now. Turkey's fucking, that's it. Because Israel's been snubbing them. That's it. So Turkey just basically said publicly, man, if you guys attack even Gaza, Israel, right now, and start using white phosphorus or any of that shit in Lebanon, we're going to throw down. So basically what Turkey said is you can't fly over us and have this missile war with Iran right now because they're going to fire off everything. They're going to go right for Israel. If Iran can, which they couldn't cross the swamp in the whole Iraq war, you know, they couldn't move any mechanized machines across the desert. So I don't know what they're talking about. I think they're talking about missiles and stuff, right? Air Force or whatever they think. But Turkey's saying, no way, you can't fly over us to do that. You can't destroy Iran over us. So that's what they're saying. But they're saying if you, because any war that happens with Iran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Israel can't fly those jets all the way there without refueling. With big bombs.
I think that also, I mean, ultimately the end result is they want to contain China's resources.
Yeah, but Israel wants to get what it wants out of it, which you know what that is. That doesn't want to have anybody with any credible power that hates Jews in the neighborhood. So But it's just
I mean,
you've never seen Russia say NATO. All the armies of the world, you could just drive through us with your whole army, and they don't need these tanks in Afghanistan. So where's the fire? It's obviously they're making their move on Iran, and either Iran had a deal with North Korea, being that they're all the axis, or China's got going, well, this shit is going down, and we're never going to fucking land on the beaches of China. That's never going to happen. So this is what they're doing. The venue is moved from China to Iran. They're like, fine. Because what they really want to do is tap the Caspian Sea. So now Turkey isn't down with that either. See, that's Turkey's ace in the hole, is that oil honeypot. Their portion of it is massive. That's enough. That's like the biggest reserve on Earth, supposedly. That whole thing goes down just like, I've heard kilometers deep of just oil honey bucket, they call it, or something.
but I mean, another thing is that they're trying to.
Supposedly it's bigger than Saudi Arabia, the oil thing there.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt that.
They've been waiting for it. So, it makes Norway look like a joke. So Turkey is just like, no, that's ours. See, that's why they would even want them in the EU in the first place. Because it's like, oh, but they don't. So that's what they're going to throw down. It's so weird that somehow the hand got forced so quick. Because it doesn't, I don't know that they have everything. Maybe they have everything. They planned this stuff out for so long. But it just seems like somebody's forcing the hand real quick.
Well, I don't think that China is strong enough yet to do anything super overtly militaristic. So that's what we're
Biological
trying to take
warfare,
advantage
though.
of. Oh,
I think that,
yeah.
But I think those guys are hip to the one thing. You know what the one thing is? Man, we've got biological agents that have every one of those guys' genes' name on it. So I think they know that.
Yeah.
So I think it's more tricky than that. I mean, they can make a cold next week that just make your hamster sniff and kill every single Asian on the planet if they want to, just by genetics.
Red
or
Hawks.
any of us. So we're not singling out the Asians here. Any of us.
Yeah, but I think that if China ever did anything biologically, then we just come back 10 times, stronger, and it'd be So I think China is slowly trying to.
Well, here's what it's all about mainly, though, is they're not extending any more credit to go for one more cycle through this shit, and we don't really have anything they need to buy off us that bad.
Yeah.
So it's getting really weird. And when they say publicly that they're not trading in any more U.S. dollars, that's exactly what it means. So I think we're going to make them. Because that's the only game there is. See, what it is right here, if you look at it like Iran has oil, right, and China has money, so look at it like a card game. The oil represents money, too, and power, right? So China, we don't have a horse in the race. All we got is a gun. We don't even got credit now. You know what I'm saying?
I do. The whole thing, like I said, I haven't, usually I follow.
And we're like,
this
let's
stuff,
play.
Yeah.
You don't think I explained it well enough for you?
No, I think
I feel like
got some
Elvis.
grasp.
I feel like Elvis. You know what I figured out today that I call my brain's pet name?
What's that?
Little Elvis. Did you ever hear any of those naughty stories about Elvis?
Well, I don't know which ones you're talking about.
Well, he made a bunch of dirty movies.
Oh, I didn't know.
And rock stars and people that trade files, these kind of people, I'll just name drop. I don't care. Kirk Hammett has a whole reel of dirty movies, Chuck Berry and Elvis and all these guys. This stuff that's crazier than Cocksucker Blues. Just their real.
Yeah, I've heard about Chuck Berry's movies.
Well, all these guys are like, wouldn't it be great if fucking Caligula had a Pixel Vision or something? They're all into it,
Yeah.
Anyways, Elvis, when he was making those, they were bankrolling those films, so it was no problem for him to go, just wire up my whole room for film, so I can fuck Mary Tyler Moore while we're making this movie. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear me? Are you there, John?
Yeah, it's just all broken up for some reason.
Okay, John, what I'm saying, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just breaking out a little bit.
Okay, well, check this out. Elvis was producing those movies. It was his money. So he wired up his trailer and was just like making dirty films of him fucking all those girls. And there's one of him and Mary Tyler Moore from that drag strip movie that he made with her. And that one makes the circuit, and he's telling her to latch on to little Elvis, his dick. So that's where the inside joke comes from. Elvis named his dick Little Elvis. Of course.
Nice.
I named mine Dick the Road. So I'm like, hit the road. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a name.
Yeah, I've heard about him getting his girls dressed up in superhero outfits, which is funny. But I haven't heard about the mobile movie set he had.
Well, when he was making his movies, he was the boss. See, he wasn't just an actor that they hired. He just made a segue into movies. Then it gave him an excuse to have a record for each movie because nobody wanted the records. See.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it because he had a movie. It's like, oh, they're making all this shit. But yeah. So they know that he called his dick Little Elvis because it was a reoccurring thing. And the other thing that they know about him is he liked to pull out and whack off and take a look at it all, talk about it. Because he left this video documentation. So that's the weird thing about being all dying when you're all fucked up on drugs is because maybe you don't hide all that shit too well.
Yeah.
You don't expect that you're just going to go take a crap and then die.
Yeah. You didn't have a chance to burn all the tapes and everything.
Well, the weird thing is because people kept that stuff secret and it's so good, except that boy, they kept those tapes and traded them themselves because for them it was dirty too. They're like, look, it's Elvis banging these chicks.
It's funny though because I have this, I have an old etching from France where it's like this guy having sex with a deer, but it's like probably from like 16th century or something.
I want to see your ass in jail, John. What the fuck are you thinking? Well, what the fuck are you thinking? It's just weird, huh?
Oh, no, I'm saying is that like back then, like. Dirty shit like that was, only for rich people that could afford to buy.
Sure, like you paid Anise Nin and Henry Miller to write some nasty shit for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just the Elvis is like an extension of that, Nowadays it doesn't really matter because all that technology is available.
Because everybody's a fucking slut.
Exactly.
Except me and you, John.
That's right.
We've kept our innocence and we got good girls around us.
That's right. That's very true.
But that's because we like them.
Yeah, we're nice to girls.
I really like girls. I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah, I grew up with a sister, so
I grew up in a whole pack of dogs. I was raised by 60 bitches, so to speak. That's some kind of insult in Nicaragua. I've told that it's just like El Salvador. That's like the one you use. Is you just tell somebody that they don't even have a family, or they were raised by a pack of dogs.
Yeah, you could insult someone here.
But for some reason they're all into their families and their cliques.
Yeah.
And appearances, but when you say that, you got to be prepared to kill them.
Oh, right. Well.
It's one of those. But I made it a habit of learning the most wicked shit to say to people from Hispanics because I grew up with so many of them, It was like cut to the chase. If you're already going to fight the whole family, you might as well get crazy. See, my grandma one time when I came in, I got my ass kicked. These people did I ever tell these stories already? All this shit comes out when I'm high every single time. You want to hear them?
Yeah, go for it.
My mom ran over some 6-year-old kid and killed her on accident. One of those in the Volkswagen bus, and we didn't even know. Us kids didn't know. And my younger sister's 3 years younger than me, and my older sister's 3 years older. And so I was at school, and boy, there was like a 14-year-old kid, and I was much younger. Man, I don't think I was 9 even. That's probably around the age. But for whatever reason, no. See, it was weird. It was like one of those years, like, my older sister was just about ready to leave that school. So she might have been in 5th grade and I might have been in 3rd grade or something. Are you following me?
Oh, yeah.
So there's like 14-year-old kids, and all these kids come running up to me and start trying to kill me, and they're kicking my head in and all that shit. And my sister came running out of nowhere and was fighting these guys and like gouging in their eyes, like brutal shit, right? It was to the death, like I was bleeding and all that shit. And then so the school people took us, you know, and then I heard my mom explaining. My older sister told me, I was like in the office, my older sister told me that, you know, my mom had killed this kid, and that was their family. They were trying to kill me for revenge. And that my mom didn't tell us because she didn't want to disturb me and my younger sister, but that my older sister, you know, that they were like, even though she was young, it was like, you know, my mom confided in her. But heavy shit, they were trying to kill me like eye for an eye. And my sister saved my life because she just like, they were so attached to killing me that she was just grabbing people by the hair and poking their eyes in.
Nice.
Crazy shit, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I went to the...
So wait, are you ready?
So,
are you ready?
Yeah.
So my grandma was just like, oh, look at you. And she just, my grandma laid into me, and my grandma goes, Anton, I'm going to tell you the secret right now, okay, and I want you to listen. She goes, everybody on the planet's terrified of scary white people, even white people, man. Don't you forget it. So you better, like, figure this shit out, son, because you're going to die quick.
True.
I mean, really. She gave me, like, the ultimate, some kind of crazy white power fucking shit. And I was just like, what planet are you from, lady? As much as I love her, but, you know.
Yeah.
But that was true, you know, I never forgot that. She's just like, man, everybody's terrified of crazy white people, even white people. You think about what I just told you. She said it just that simple. You know, no fucking background, no movie of the week, no stories. Just, she's just like, go for it all the way in your whole life, you know?
Yeah.
You're smiling.
No, I'm just listening. It's interesting.
Crazy advice to give a little kid, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got advice like that from different people growing up too, you know, like, and plus, like, my next door neighbors were criminals. Serial killers.
Uh-huh.
So, I grew up next to crazy white people all over. I mean, my whole neighborhood was crazy white people. It was a white trash, you know, jamboree.
So what happened to us? Why are we okay? Why are we just artists making people happy? Well,
I don't know, you know.
I'm a rabble rouser. I'll speak from
my sister and I asked ourselves that all the time, right? You know, because we grew up around so many crazy people.
Everybody I know went to jail, except me.
Yeah, jail or, you know,
dead,
out there,
drugs.
Yeah.
Jails, institutions, or death. That's what they say in the business.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I don't know what it is. It's like luck, or it's some sort of
spirit thing. My great grandmother. You know, everybody in my family, we kind of pray for each other all the time. Maybe it's that. I mean, generational, ancestral kind of shit.
Yeah, there's something to that, you know. Or someone from the future pulling us towards them.
We just don't know. It's like, what is water? You know, one of my friends, Dallas Taylor, who helped me quit smack, I really want to interview him, but I just don't know what he'll think about it. If I say something like, oh, I'm really high right now, but I want you to tell these people, about the recovery process and people, you know, because he's the best. He's one of them in LA.
Yeah.
And a lot of people need to know this information.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my uncle's a freaking criminal junkie, and
see, I'm not.
You know, no, I know that, but I mean,
I don't even do the shit. I'll show you my teeth, man. I'm not even none of that shit. It's crazy.
But you know, there's better things to think about.
No, there isn't, man. We should help people if we can.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
No, absolutely. You know.
I mean, I don't want this to be like a self-help program or anything. I think it should remain about everything.
Right. I agree.
In our times and all that shit.
Yeah.
I think some interesting shit's about ready to go down.
Yeah. It's, you know, the next 2 years are going to be pretty interesting to see what happens.
Who do these motherfuckers think they are, though? I mean, basically, they've got everybody so snowed because they twist it around in a big thing like this more, this debt bubble, these bad bonds, whatever. You know what the bottom line is? They don't have a plan. And if they could have fixed it in 2008, it would have been fixed. But it's obviously they don't have a plan. But they do know one thing, is that they got to pay these geniuses that keep telling you that it's worse off than they dared to tell you last time. They keep making more money.
Yeah. Well,
I study history, man. You know what happens when people do bad deals like this all the way? At some point, you got to stand up for your grandma, and the have-nots. I mean, Jesus, are you really going to fight for your potential investment that you lost, your extra money that you invested, harder than the people that don't have anything? So, I mean, that's where it's all standing right now. And I feel sorry for the rich people because they all think that they're going to get away with that. But I don't see how it's going to work unless the police all live with the rich people in a compound and the rest of us are just, like, dead.
Yeah, like, the future is security cities, It's like, you can go to
I think they fucked
Eagles Nest Security Center and live in peace.
I don't know, a lot of rich people are pissed off about the Madoff thing. But that ain't even that's the tip of the iceberg. Wait till they find out that there is no lifeboat for them. I mean, everybody can't be in these new secret tax havens. Everybody can't be in there. That's not the way they work. Because the creditors would be after these people, see?
Yeah.
So in a certain way, it boils down to corporate liability. But now we've let these corporations get really powerful, right? Like, look at Blackwater. Their army's bigger than any other army on the planet. It's just amazing. Their army is like Croatia's army, sure. They hire the whole army at once, those guys. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? The future would have, like, corporate armies that you can hire?
I think they really fucked up. I think what they got to look at is that situation. Unless they completely plan. Check this out. I don't want to get into National Socialism and all that. But the main deal that those guys did is they said, well, with this inflation, our money's worth nothing and the whole world just crashed, there ain't no real point in paying you guys back. We're just going to just start the clock over and put everybody to work and say they're working. But then there was all the rotten shit that went with that. But Henry Ford and those guys were like, see, that's how you do it. You just tell your whole country to get to work. But, we know how bad that was. Because it was all the shit going on with that, right? But they got to use it. Here we are again. All these people are fighting for that potential investment money that they've lost. It's so ridiculous. And here's the weird thing about it is, the next thing to go is the commercial real estate. Well, look how much all those investments that they're talking about, they were just building new spaces. So even if they repossess, there's so much space. There's houses everywhere. What's the deal? And then the last thing that I want to bring up and get your take on, okay? As I switch subjects really quick, that's bugging the shit out of me. I want you guys all out there in fairy tale land, out there in Dead TV watching, wherever you're watching Facebook. Think about this one thing. Not only in every species, but for the history of mankind, the one thing that sticks is these families. Somebody's families carry on, right? The family unit. People reproducing and carrying on their culture. What happened since the Industrial Revolution? Everybody's family's breaking up? That can't be natural. This is by design. So you need to think about that. The history of mankind, but not just us, every single other species. Their family hangs together, right? And they're kind. Those kind of people hang together. What happened now? This has to be by design. It wasn't like we all evolved into like being dicks, selfish and unaware. So you guys need to think about that. Because this didn't even exist in my great-grandmother's time. And she was 26 when I was 26 when she died. So think about that. I mean, it still carried it on into my family to talk to her. It doesn't exist now.
Well, I mean, there's a whole idea of like people that go off to the city to make a living. I mean, that's an old tradition. People leave their family to go make it in the
The
big
family
city.
unit,
You know?
John. The family unit.
Um,
All the divorces,
yeah.
everything. Since when did that start happening?
They promote like individuality or whatever, you know, and that like promotes like not having to be confined by
Not having to be responsible
family.
for your fucking actions. So basically, they set an example saying the banks don't have to be responsible for their bad investments and all these people. So we'll just bail them out, but all the way down, the buck stops with you. You guys are irresponsible, so now you guys all have to pay. Wow.
Well, there's also like no loyalty to like to a corporation. People get in and get out of corporations. You know, like I think you were mentioning like Pontiac, like how much money has Pontiac made in the history of that branch, and then they just close it up because
Well,
it's
you know why they
bankrupt.
closed it up? Because they don't want to honor any of the deals they did with the fucking unions. They don't want to pay those pensions, so you just dissolve
Right,
the
but
whole
doesn't
thing.
that, the whole idea of
Well, they
like
already
not
spent the
treating
pension. They already spent the pension. So then they say that the thing is collapsed because it doesn't work. But, like, what I'm saying is, can we afford to be a little bit more sympathetic to people we don't know? No, we can't. Can we? We're just fucked. So fuck the whales, too, and your cat. I'm going to kick your cat. Because, I mean, where are we going to draw the line now?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but the thing is, the corporations, the way they treat their employees, it's an extension of what you're talking about. You know, like the union is a part of the family of the corporation.
Some do and some don't, though, right? Some do and some don't. I mean, the Germans seem to have a system. Several.
Yeah.
They got a relationship with their workforce. They're number one because of it, too. So how do you work that out, man? They're still making Mercedes, and people driving these cabs over here, so it ain't that big a deal. They're not tripping.
Well,
Are they?
the states are different, right?
Well, I think they want us all gone, obviously. That's what I was suggesting. But people are going to start asking me, who's they? Should we start qualifying our statements, or should we just leave it vague like everybody else?
You call people out and talk about whatever you want. I mean,
Am I getting too sexy? I'm just feeling hot. Should we switch the subject to art? Because people really, they get a wild hair up their ass when I start telling everybody what I know.
I like hearing it. I like to know what you know.
It's scary for people, though. They don't want to believe it. It's serious shit when China says they aren't taking no more U.S. dollars at all. But boy, they calmed that market. You know why? It was Friday. They didn't want it to crash like Black Friday also has traditionally been. So they said, well, you guys just go out and shop. So bad. And then they just flooded the market. And I'll pull up articles where most investors are going, wow, I can't even compete against this because it's unnatural. They're just playing the Fortune 500 because I've been watching the markets, man. That's what they're doing with the imaginary bailout money is they're just pumping up the companies. Because I watch them just pick them. The news will be bad on all accounts, and then they'll go, but look at this. It's going up right here. And that's just the only thing we need to be up to make it look like don't split. Don't take all your money out. This run for the banks thing.
You know,
See, you notice they didn't say...
them,
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. What do you think about them putting GM back on the stock market again? First,
Symbolic.
Yeah.
GM's probably going to make a hell of a lot of those little fucking people carriers and shit coming up. I mean, when CNN's fucking headline on their website is America moved into a permanent state of war? They really have, because the Project for the New American Century told you they were going to do it. All these clowns in Bush's gang and Rumsfeld, they told you it was a 50-year war, but you couldn't imagine how, like, some guy in Somalia in a canoe or some guy in a cave could lure you into a 50-year war. It's, for whatever reason, nobody wants to talk about the oil. But, I mean, don't you find it suspicious that, why the fuck was Russia there for 15 years or 10 years, and now we're there for 10 years, but we were there fighting Russia for 10 years, so what's the deal that we got to be there for so many years? Well, it's that fucking oil. It's because that oil has to go through that area, because we made deals with India and not with China. We built all those gas. They can't burn cow shit forever, and there's a lot of people. and they're making money. They can pay for it.
Haven't they already built the pipeline through Afghanistan, Unocal?
It gets blown up, man. It gets blown up every day, man. It's a long road to protect. So that's all they're doing. If you look at all the fighting and the deaths, it's the two things. It's guarding Iran, and up at the top, it's stopping China from anybody coming in to blow it up or any more plastic or whatever, you know. But they can't stop the place. It's so porous, man. It's a fucking mountain. So you just, you know, you could just get some kind of like C4 and a goat. You know what I mean? And you just, no, seriously, that's what they're doing.
I agree. No, I know. I mean, but
so they just keep hitting the pipeline.
But isn't it funny that no one in the United States even really brings it up ever? I mean, it's never brought up ever. No one even thinks about it, you know?
You can look at all the deaths. You can look at all the action, and it goes right across the pipeline. See, there's more than one pipeline. Because originally, I think they planned it to be natural gas, and I think they also knew, though, about all this other stuff with the Caspian. But Russia's completely on board, and we've been fighting them in Chechnya. You know, that's the big joke. We've been stopping them because they were going to build a big pipeline to coming into Europe, and it just never happened because it was going to be from the steppes too. See, they wanted all that oil and gas to go through Europe and then them control the market for all the oil and gas, and we said no way. And that's
doesn't Russia already control the market for gas in Europe?
Well, they have their own, but this is even a bigger supply than they got. See, because what it's all about that light crude and that Brent or whatever. Like, we got the second best in the North Sea, I guess, right? And then there's the heavy crude and shit. And a lot of times we'll just trade the best shit. See, America has tons of oil, but they keep that under wraps. But a lot of times we trade the best shit we get on the market, and then we refine the crappier shit for us.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll buy Mexico's shit, second grade gas, and turn that into petrol. All of our stations are geared for that second grade stuff because we're trying to use up all the shit gas first, right? So then but people know what the good stuff is. That's the honey shit. And then, so that goes for the high dollar. So we just get rid of some of that. It's like we swap it out. But now China and Iran, none of these guys want to deal in U.S. dollars anymore at all. So we got to throw it down. Because we keep moving the goal post. See, we keep changing what the value of the money is. That's why we don't have a gold standard. If we had a gold standard, then we'd have to pay back all this massive amount of money. But as it is, we just start printing more, and then it's go, here, take some more of this money. Right?
Yeah, well, there's that whole thing.
That's why they did it, because they were about ready to get screwed by OPEC. So OPEC tried to take back all their money by saying, well, you owe us this much money, we got to collect. So we'll just raise the price of the gas, and then they said, okay, no way, we'll just take it so it's not linked to gold anymore.
I mean, in some ways, I'm glad it's not linked to gold, because gold is another way of screwing people over. Because gold is the quantities of gold is determined by people who have access to it or the money to buy it.
That's the thing, is the access, right? Because we know that gold is everywhere. It's an element. We know there's so much of that shit, it's not even funny. Supposedly,
Absolutely.
What I know of, excuse me, modifying. What I know is that out of the heavy elements, that it's abundant in the universe. Like massive amounts, but they use that shit on the space brothers use it. They use it some funky ass places.
Well, then there's the theory, that
that's what I heard is they use it for like some kind of how we spray particulates supposedly in the air for to shield an atmosphere.
Right.
Supposedly it's integral for making atmospheres. It's gold.
Right, well that's
is that weird?
That's why they keep... No.
Just to shield space radiation or something. Supposedly, it's like, in my mind, that's what they're kind of doing with it. Is they can build an atmosphere like on, say, Mars if they have the proper elements.
Right. No, but that's like the legend, of like the ancient aliens that came to Earth. And
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going on. Is I'm going to take the Sumerians' words for it, because they're saying these are our records. This
Right.
is
So when they modified humans' genes, they made us have this gold, this desire.
no. The reason why we're into it is because that's all we've ever known is people have had to come up with that shit no matter what.
I see.
See, so
Yeah,
people
and then
know that.
they took the gold and then they took off.
No, it's ongoing because it's the big picture, man. You know how long it probably takes to seed an atmosphere? It could take 500,000 years or something to turn those machines on or something, or even more. You know, we don't know. A whole atmosphere, you know, some kind of just like the reactions. A lot of it, you know, to get like a temperature that doesn't fluctuate. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Building in a fucking environment, not just
Right,
like
yeah.
it can be too volatile.
Yeah.
So what did you see? Did you read the papers today? Am I boring the shit out of you people yet?
I'm not bored.
Okay. So check this out. Did you read the papers today about Saturn and Rhea, the moon?
No, I didn't.
Oxygen. They found oxygen on Rhea,
Huh.
one of Saturn's moons.
Rhea? I haven't. Okay.
I
So
got a
it has an
picture. I got a
atmosphere?
picture. It has a faint atmosphere, but they said they detected its oxygen. Right there.
Wow.
Just like 2001.
That's a trip.
The old man's just been waiting.
Well, Jupiter, that was 2001, wasn't it? Jupiter.
All I know is it's out in space, and that's one of the freakiest parts of the film,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I love that film.
I already told you about Rock Hudson and his experience with the premiere of that, right?
No, tell me. I don't know that story.
Classic story. He's got his entourage of like 20 people, and they're all sitting down like in the third row at Man's Chinese. So that's like 1,500 people or 2,500. It's a big place. 1,800 maybe. I think it's 1,400. But anyways, like, and the film's so long, it has an intermission, right? So the first whole part's all just monkeys, right, until they hit the bone, and right as the bone goes up in the air, it's like, that's the intermission point, I think.
Right.
Or right as you realize it's a spaceship or something. That's right where they cut it. And he just stands up and he just goes, "Damn it! Will somebody please tell me what the fuck is going on here? I don't have to put up with this shit." And his guys are like this. They're like, talking to each other, and his whole 20 people just walk out for intermission, storm out of the place. But he said it like as loud as he just stood up and faced everyone. He's like, "I can't believe that they're spending this kind of money to make this kind of shit." And he lost it.
I was reading about a theory that in that movie, the monolith is actually a movie screen set on its side. Have you ever read about that?
No, but I know all these people are tripping. I know nothing's just a little magic accident. Like, you know, that director, none of this shit is an accident. The media, man. See, a lot of times they're trying to get people's minds. It's never what it seems, but trying to get people's minds open to think about something. And then when you can grasp that, then you can all talk, and somebody else goes, "No, this is how you make sense of that." It's like divination or something. But I know that, you know, everybody thinks that 1984, they're always like, "Is this 1984? Is this 1984? Because they completely are snow jobbed. They don't realize that, you know, 1984 is not a revolutionary book, else you wouldn't be forced to read it as a 10th grader. It's so your mind, you know, can grasp something that's a little bit heavier than that, which is the fact that that's already happened.
Yeah.
You're learning how to fit into the system, man. And when you watch The Matrix, that's how you identify people that are different than you. You think that you're rooting for Keanu Reeves to wake up and pull something off, but, man, that's just to get you used to the idea that of the whole thing, how it works, man. It's actually from the opposite perspective. Keanu Reeves isn't the hero. It's like your job to identify that kind of behavior in other people.
I like that. Yeah.
That's the only reason why that shit gets made nonstop. And when they put out books like fucking Fight Club and shit, man, just giving people ideas. See, because they always want a justification. It makes it interesting. We're supposed to solve problems. That's what the founders wanted, you know? But a lot of that shit, you just get busted immediately when you have inclinations to, like, do some weird shit. When you have impulses like that. because they just study this shit like nonstop. They study me, they study everyone. Just since I was a kid, you know, just to see how people tick. But you know, you could have cops looking out for everybody doing the anarchist cookbook thing, or you could just make some faulty recipes that if you fuck with that shit, you just blow yourself up, and they know exactly what happened. So it's an easy way to put like fake magic and all that shit. Easy way to guard against people, because ultimately, like the common sense is you can't find real magic, real yoga, real spirit shit. No, you can't ever find it in a bookshop, man. It's an easy way to police to stop people from getting together and getting that kind of information is just like put fake shit out there, and then you can just see them. Because the bottom line is they don't want 13-year-olds casting fireballs, even if they do sell it to you, the whole concept to you in Twilight or something. See, or Dungeons and Dragons. They don't actually wanting you to be able to navigate in those realms. They want you to be able to identify other people that can. So
yeah, you know, I have bookstore friends that own bookstores and they work at bookstores a lot around here, and there are these guys, these weirdos that come around and they're like in suits and they just buy, you know, they buy books that are, you know,
heavy, the real deal,
metaphysics books,
the real deal.
Yeah, and they go and they'll just buy a range of metaphysical books and books like, you know, just, you know what I'm talking about, strange books.
Yeah, but people are trying to hit, you know, that stuff. One thing I want to tell you is that it also goes in, it's according to astrology, it goes in and out, you know. Like sometimes they don't take anybody, they don't give out any information. They're not growing it. And then it just flips, and then they're just way out in the open and everybody's joining and stuff. And the information's all, right now the information's all out there. It's like we're not telling anybody any secrets.
Right, it's like the dollar talisman, you know.
Like but
change it all the time.
See, nobody can make heads or tails of any of this mumbo jumbo, so it doesn't even matter that it's out there. But the way that you find people that know, or they find you, is they just know. They can tell just by the way you look at things that you know. See, they find you. You can't go any specific place to get a real guru. A real guru just spots you. They could pick you right out of a crowd because you're looking everywhere in these circles. And, you know, police, when they round you up, they also use those same patterns of searching for people in the methodology. They always go clockwise. They always do. They just start increasing the circle, the net, going clockwise. It's obvious. I've watched them so many times looking for people. Maybe me. You know? But you could just walk the opposite direction, and you could just pass the guys that are following you all day long. And it's just like they're just programmed to. It's like this weird zombie game, you know, where they kind of feel you, but they're a little bit slow. Do you know what I mean? And everything's kind of, the whole direction of it's kind of like seeking in on you, but they can't really tell. They're too slow for that. Are you following me?
Yeah, I think.
But they always catch people because they're being a spaz. So as they're going in a larger circle, making the dragnet a search, they see the person running like crazy trying to avoid something. So that's the easy way. They're just like, where's the fire? Or you're being a spaz.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole idea also, like...
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, why don't you talk now and trip me out, because I'm pretty buzzed and I can deal.
Well, I don't know if I can contribute to that anymore.
Well, this is like ghost stories, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I like ghost stories. So we're just having fun. We're doing art right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
I like this new band called Dead Ghosts. They're really good, from Canada.
Yeah.
I found them last night. So it's a ghost story. But
what is it that strikes your fancy about them? This other guy wants to talk to me. Should I just put you on hold for 1 second and see what this jerk wants? Because he knows that I'm on the phone with you. Hello?
Anton.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing? I'm right in the middle of an interview, mate.
I'm inside the party. I've got a friend who's a big fan of your band. I need to let you come on to my... I need to let you speak to him, okay?
No way. I'm not doing it. I'm right in the middle of my show.
Okay, hold on, Anton. I need to let you speak to him, okay?
No way, I'm not doing this.
Finger in it. Hello?
Hey, you know, you guys are rude, man. I'm right in the middle of my show. What's going on?
Anton.
Yeah.
Anton.
I'm here.
What's your favorite gas to fill the boots with?
My favorite what?
Anton.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go outside and speak to him. Okay, we'll be 2 seconds. Alright.
Are you guys,
Hold on the line, Anton. Please.
are you guys at Primal Scream? Are you guys at Primal Scream?
Right, okay.
Are you guys there? Hello?
How's it going?
It's going great, man. Where are you guys at? Primal Scream?
We're at a big party.
Excellent. How's that going?
It's good, yeah, nice, cool. What are you up to?
I'm doing my TV show right now.
You're doing your what?
TV show.
You're doing a TV show?
Yeah, my TV show.
Oh, cool. That's really nice to know. Yeah. Yeah, of course you can. Hey, Anton, you know your song Waking Up Next to Grenades? Hand grenades.
Yeah.
You know the drums to that? That is fucking sweet, man. It's so good.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, it's so good, man. Seriously,
We
it's
should
fucking
listen.
sweet.
We should listen to that, man.
Oh, I do. I listen to it too much.
Well, I'm gonna put it on right now.
Oh, you're going to put it on?
I'm doing my show.
Oh, you're doing the show right now?
Yeah. I got you guys.
Right, so
You.
I'm live on air right
Yeah,
now.
you are.
Oh, fucking sweet, man. Okay, well, thanks very much for the dedication, but I've got to go right now.
Fair enough. Bye.
All right,
Cheers.
much love, Anton.
I'll play the song. Woo. Wow. This is getting weirder by the minute, huh?